Shalom, family and friends. Hope all is well today. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you will to the channel. Share the video. The topic of discussion. I don't have a topic of discussion, but I want to talk a little bit about the declination process of the body in terms of death. To give up the ghost. All right? Or the Bible will have it for you to sleep. But when you, what they would call die, that's what they call it in the Western world. When you die, it's nothing but the change of bodies. So when you die, give up the ghost, the spirit cannot cease to exist. The spirit is everlasting to everlasting. The spirit, the soul, is energy. It's astral energy. So when you die, this astral energy, it gets transmutated into another body. Okay? Which we title that reincarnation. The Bible says regeneration. All right? And it's just the birth of a soul in a new body. It's the same soul in the former, but it gets injected into a new body. Now, many of you that do not believe in this concept, I don't know what to say. We know that we've been taught lies by other organizations, but if you can grasp this, all peace and blessings be upon you, and knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. But yeah, the soul gets transmutated into another body. Now, this other body is regulated by what you do in this life. Your deeds, your actions. That's what karma means. Karma means, in the Sanskrit, it means actions or deed. And so, or what you can call commission. Excuse me. So in this life, your actions is building your next body on the other side. It's like painting. You have a canvas, you have pencils, brushes, pens, markers, crayons, color pencils, whatever you need, you have in order to start creating that artwork. Just like the artwork is formulated by pencils, pens, markers, crayons, just like your artwork is formulated by those utensils, your body in a life to come is formulated by your actions, your deeds that you carry out in this life. They may be sinful actions, wicked actions. They may be pious actions, righteous actions. But whatever the case may be, whether your actions be pious or whether they be evil, this will determine the body that you're going to get after you decline in this life in terms of death. And so that's the secret to this thing. You create your own house that your spirit will live in by the way you treat others. All right? We know that all of us is not on the same plateau. All of us is not on the same level. All of us are facing different situations, circumstances. Some rich, some poor. Some is in great health. Some is in horrible sickness. Some is beautified. Some is hideous. You feel me? Some may just different situations. Those situations, circumstances, outcomes are determined by what you do. And so, just like all of us are here, simultaneously existing, but each and every one of us, we are dwelling in different houses. All houses don't look the same. So you look around and you see many different ethnic backgrounds, many different races of people, but they not all living in the same house. You know, your buddy might be living in a 2-story mansion downtown. You may be living in a 1-bedroom. You know, your sister may be living in 3-bedroom. And then here's the poor man. He might not have a house at all. And then the man next to him might be living in some type of shack. So even though we are all here simultaneously, we're not all living in the same conditions. You feel what I'm saying? We're not all in the same area. And that's just like the souls that incarnates into these bodies. You know, one body may be well off, one body may not be. But that is all determined, you know, according to how you live in terms of treating others. In the Our Father prayer in Matthew 6 and 9, it talks about forgive us for our debts as we forgive others. How does it go? It says in Matthew 6 and 9, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it be in the heavens. Give us bread all day, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. See, forgive us our debts, because your debts will determine what type of body you get. You feel me? Your debts is going to determine what type of body you get. And if you got a debt that you can't pay off, then you're going to get a fucked up body. Excuse my French. You might come back with sickle cell anemia. You might come back with asthma. You feel what I'm saying? You might come back mental retardation. It just all depends on how you treat others in this life. And so you can accumulate debts to the point where you're not liable even to come back. You feel what I'm saying? Just total oblivious. That's why it says in the Our Father prayer, forgive us all our debts, because with high debts, you're not going to be able to afford an appropriate house, which is a body to dwell in, because you so behind in debt, you don't have good credit. You feel what I'm saying? You don't have good credit to afford an appropriate body. So I mean, it is what it is. Your high debts is going. I mean, you get a fucked up body is because your debts are too high. You know, with low debts, you don't have that much debt. If you're not in debt that much, you might be able to afford appropriate house. You might be, you know, because your actions is like money. You know what I'm saying? Your actions, the things that you do in this life, is like coins. They like money. You feel what I'm saying? And you do good deeds. The more good deeds you do, that's more coins. That's more money. So in the life to come, you can receive you have a sufficient amount of coins of money and able to buy your way in glory, to get a good body, to get a good position, to get a good situation or circumstance in the next life to come. But like I said, if you fuck around in this life you do bad things and hurt others, mistreat others, despitefully misuse others, then those bad deeds is going to be considered debt. You feel what I'm saying? So for those of you that don't believe in reincarnation, just look at it this way. Reincarnation is the soul and the change of bodies. The same soul and the change of bodies. Well, you change clothes each and every day. You change clothes each and every day, but you have the same body. And that's just like the soul. You don't graduate to godhood. You don't qualify to enter the celestial kingdom. Then you come right back until you have learned your lessons on whatever you keep getting wrong. That's pretty much how it goes. So even if you don't believe that the soul changes bodies, you change clothes each and every day. So what is the body to the spirit soul? The body to the spirit soul is like clothing. And what you must realize is that you are not the body, but you are a spirit soul that's passing through. You are a soul that's experiencing human life. You're not the body. Just like a bird in the cage is not the cage. You see what I'm saying? The bird in the cage is not the cage until you realize that you are not the body and that you are the soul. Then you live like an animal. Because the difference between human and animal, the difference between human and animal is that the animals can't tell you that they can't tell you why they suffering. The human being can only tell you why him or her suffering. The animals can't do that. So that's what makes the human different from the animals. The animals cannot tell you why they suffering. Now, unless human being come to that conclusion and ask this question, why in the hell are we suffering? Then you live like animal. Because very little of us don't even ask ourselves, why in the hell I'm suffering? So if that ain't even crossed your mind, that lets you know that you in an animalistic mindset. Because the animals can't tell you why they suffering. So you need to start asking the ultimate question, why in the hell I'm suffering? And those are the early stages to godhood. And then you got to find out a solution, to stop the suffering process. And that's keeping nature's laws. You feel what I'm saying? Or what you would call the 10 commandments, the 613 commandments of God. Some may call them the laws of Ma'at. Just righteous order. That's what's going to get you out of here. That's what's going to prevent you from getting change of bodies. Because death is nothing but change of bodies. The physical body, surely, that goes back into the soil and decays. But the spirit soul, which is the energy, the consciousness, that gets transmutated over, man. So, whenever you die, what type of mindset that you have, that would be determined by the next body you're going to receive, man. You feel what I'm saying? So, yeah, I just wanted to drop that knowledge out to you guys because it's 2021. It's no reason why we should still be asleep and unsophisticated and miseducated. There's no reason at all. All right? Now, if you don't believe this, you don't have to believe it. But when you look around, nature would teach you these things. The leaves fall off the tree. During the autumn or what you call the fall time, but during the spring, they come back on the tree. Everything revitalizes. The sun goes up, the sun goes down, the moon comes out. You see what I'm saying? Everything is pretty much in a cyclic motion. The wind blows round about to continue to blow again. Then you have the rivers that dumps off into the 7 seas. Only to dump off into them again. You grow hair, you cut your hair, it grows again. You feel me? Just think about it. You cut the grass on the earth. The grass on the earth grows again. You urinate only to urinate again. You defecate only to defecate again. You cut your nails grow back. You spit out saliva only for your saliva glands to secrete saliva again. You ejaculate only for your seminal ducts to secrete semen again. You eliminate mucus only for it to build up again. Think about it. Everything is in a cycle of motion. You just have to observe. It rains. It evaporates to rain again. Just think about that, man. So you study nature, and when you study nature, if everything pretty much, goes in a cycle of motion in terms of nature, and you play part of nature, what makes you think you're not part of the cycle of motion? But see, many of us have failed to comprehend this sacred science. And it's nobody's fault but yours. So, yeah, just please like, comment on the video, subscribe to my channel, if you will. But that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it, because people think that you only live once. They think YOLO, you only live once. But that's crazy. That's crazy. We are eternal beings. But you won't think you eternal if you focusing on the body. If you say that if you say that we don't live again, that's because you fleshly based. That's because you carnal minded. You got to be spiritual minded. To be spiritual minded is to be everlasting. To be carnal minded is to be temporary. You feel me? So, if you religious, to be religious is to be carnal minded, which is temporary. But to be spiritual is to know thyself and know that you are everlasting. And know that we've been trying for decades to get back to Godhood. We've been trying for decades to get back to Godhood, because all what happened in the beginning of time is you had the celestial gods that created avatars to descend down in these avatars to test themselves to see would they be able to overcome and go back to glory. But many celestial beings got stuck, in what you call the physical, the avatars, these bodies. Many of these celestial beings challenged themselves by descending down into these avatars. Many overcame, and many got stuck. So all you are is a celestial being that challenge yourself to descend down into an avatar, which is the body, to see can you overcome fleshly desires and carnal desires to get back to glory. And one day we all will make it back to glory. But there's no telling how many times, if we submit to carnal desires, there's no telling how many times we reincarnate till we get it right, till we get back to glory. Why you think that the Messiah never had to come back? Just think about that. The Messiah, 2,000 years ago, walked this earth, and when he died, crucified him, his death and burial, when he resurrected, he never had to come back again. Just think about it. All of us can become the Messiah. All of us can come like the Messiah, but we got to carry that Christ consciousness. Because if we don't carry that Christ consciousness, to not be in a state of consciousness that Christ had, you know what I'm saying, is to be materialistic. You feel me? So yeah.